Hey everybody, and thanks for listening to this edition of the 15 Minutes with True Crime podcast. My name is Joe Tommaso, and tonight's guest is Michelle. Michelle is a female inmate currently serving a life without parole sentence at the Central Women's Correctional Facility in Chowchilla, California. Her crime is aiding and abetting in a murder. Her story's pretty powerful, and I'd like to share it with all of you. If you'd like to keep this podcast going and would like to see it get better, please donate to paypal.me/Joe Tommaso. Again, that's paypal.me/JoeTomaso. If you have any questions or suggestions, or if there's somebody you might want me to try and interview, please email me at insidetherazorwire@gmail.com. Again, that is insidetherazorwire@gmail.com. Or you can snail mail me at P.O. Box 162, West Haven, Connecticut 06516. You can also help me out a lot by hitting the like and subscribe button on whatever platform you're listening to this show on, whether it be Anchor or YouTube or any of the 16 other platforms this show is playing on. This is your free way to help me have more people listen to the show. Also, when I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to be putting out photos and documentation from different cases that are featured on this show. In addition, we'll be converting over to a video format, so you guys will be able to not only hear the show, but you'll be able to see it as well. And now, let's start this edition of 15 Minutes with.
Okay, I can barely hear you. I think I landed on a Lucy phone right now.
Okay.
But,
Can you hear me better now?
I can barely hear you. Are we being recorded right now? Are we ready?
Yeah, we're set to go.
Oh, okay. Well, I can barely hear you. If you would allow me, I will just go ahead and talk. I'll do my best if that's okay with you.
Okay.
I guess if I get off course or something, maybe you can just hit some buttons or something.
Okay, that'll work. Okay, so I usually start off by what is your name and where are you calling from?
Okay. Again, I can barely hear you. Let's see. My name is Michelle. I'm calling from Chowchilla, California Women's Facility, which is one of the largest women's prisons. We have approximately 3,000 women here.
Okay.
I am an LWOP, which means I am serving a life without the possibility of parole sentence. This was my first time being arrested, and deservedly spent 42% of my lifetime behind these bars. I've been incarcerated for almost 20 years, charged with aiding and abetting a murder. The best way that I can describe my crime is that I was one of the participants who stole from the house of drug dealers. The next day, there was a confrontation over this theft, which spiraled into me making many wrong decisions, and my wrong decisions ended a young man's life and ruined many others. I know that the show is geared to help young lives choose a different path. And if one life can be saved through my story, then I'm willing to share with you what led me to become a person who would receive a life sentence. Are we good?
We're still going. So you told me while you were in prison. Tell me about life on the inside. What's it like in there?
Life on the inside? Well, I guess mostly it's like second chances here are very rare. As I look around me right now, the common theme is people with excessive sentencing. A lot of time either for either being in the car or being in the vicinity or being the actual perpetrator in the crime.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and I have to ask you this question. I ask it of everybody. Do you feel remorse for your crime? Are you sorry for what happened?
Oh, absolutely.
So
it's very heartbreaking. It's very heartbreaking when I think about what the young man went through and what his family has gone through and what they're still going through. Remorse motivated my desire to change. I will never...
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
I will never forget nor forgive the pain that I've caused. And this is why I share things that are not so flattering to myself, because I want to help others understand the value of people. I wholeheartedly believe in the each one teach one by taking what we learn and sharing it with other young women so that they can heal and use their past struggles as a stepping stone to reach others.
So let me ask you, if you were able to go back and see yourself before what happened, or if you saw a person heading down the path that would lead them into prison like you are, what would you tell them?
I would tell them that don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Reach out to the people that you know. Reach out to the people that are in your school. School for me was my biggest outlet. And I should have reached out and I should have asked for help. I should have went to my counselor. I should have trusted somebody. But I was so ashamed that I believed that I was the only person going through those things. I didn't think anybody else could carry those burdens that I was carrying. So I kept them a secret. And when you're able to express what you're feeling or express what's going on in your life or what your fears are or what's happening inside your own household, you're going to get the help that you need. And you're going to realize that there's a lot of people that understand and that you're not alone. And there's other people that have gone through that and have overcome those things and not taken the path that we've taken.
Tell me some of the ways that prison has changed you.
Well, first of all, it affected my family members. It affected my children. My children had to grow up without a mother. I had to do the best that I could to parent them from here. But it still affects a kid when they don't have both parents in the household. They have to learn how to encourage themselves. They have to be their own voice of reason, and they end up having to go through life almost by themselves. Seeing my kids suffer and going through the things without that proper guidance, they're my heroes today because they've done so well, and they're just amazing human beings. But I think having to watch your children through pictures, having to listen to the things that they're going through and to not physically be able to be there, those are some of the things that made me want to change. And not just that, but I had a brother who committed suicide out there, and when I would see the pain that my mom would go through, and I would hear it in her voice, and watch as she wasn't able to function each day, it reminded me of the family and the pain that I caused them. It was almost a reflection of what I've done to in my own case.
Can you tell me about yourself and things that you do on the inside and hopes that you have for the future?
Well, the hopes that I have for the future would be to be a social worker or something that relates to healing, helping heal children from trauma. I know that this trauma is not something that people grow out of, but it has to be acknowledged and it has to be addressed so that healing can be possible. I would love the opportunity to reach into junior high schools. I believe that this is one step before rehab and 2 steps before prison. I think it's a good head start. Things that I do in prison, well, we are involved with a lot of activities. We sew dresses. We take pillowcases and we create dresses out of them, and we give them to what is called Dress a Girl Around the World. There are children out there, young girls that are being kidnapped and placed into sex trade. The reason statistics show that they're targeted because they look like they're lower class and that they don't belong to anybody important. Therefore, they believe that the people that are taking them, if their kids are taken, they're actually doing them a favor by removing the burden from their own household. And this is third world countries.
Right.
So if we dress these young ladies really well, it gives the impression that they belong to somebody important, and there's less chances of them being kidnapped. I also personally do it because I feel like that is that one thing that they can have that gives them a little bit of value and love and shows them that they're worthy of respect. My job, I work in Beyond Violence. We go to receiving yard and we try to reach them before they come over the wall. We try to reach them before the rest of the crowds in the prison get a hold of them. We're there to offer them different groups, show them that there's another way to live in prison, and we try to help them live a life that's beyond violence. But we also try to help them heal from trauma. We let them know that they're not alone. We let them know that there's a lot of horror stories in prison, and there's 2 ways to go. There is 2 ways to go, and it's ultimately their choice, and there's going to be a lot of peer pressure here, but there's also people that will support them and will stand beside them. that would make their time not easier, but something more to invest themselves in to help them grow and reach success.
Sometimes people don't know their own devices as well. So let people know, okay, let the kids know and the young adults know prison's no joke, and let them know your convictions no matter how serious or how minor you are for the rest of your life. Let kids know what it's like in there, and, that they shouldn't, head toward prison, other than just saying that, you want to go to somebody for help. Can you tell the kids, in your own words, why they would not want to go to prison, why they'd want to stay out on the street and do the right thing?
Well, I believe, like you do, Joe, that all young lives are worthy of love and respect. I believe it's fair to say that many young men seek respect and belonging.
Mm-hmm.
But this is something that they will not receive in prison. Prison respect is very much a false image. And young women, I know that most of them just want to be loved. And I think that the hardest part for them is that if they come to prison, they will forfeit that. Most children or most
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Most young girls
mm-hmm.
I have spoken to or have listened to, they just want to be loved. They want belonging.
Mm-hmm.
And they think that they can find these things in other people that are broken. And they think that they're understood by other people who are in a lifestyle that's opposite to anything that's going to keep you out of prison.
Mm-hmm.
And the truth is that, it's almost like the blind leading the blind. You're not going to find that love or that true understanding from somebody who doesn't have it to offer.
Right. Out of everything that, if you had a message that you could give to these kids out there, what would that message be?
I would just say, believe in who you are. Know that you were just created for a purpose. I understand how tough it can be and how hard it can be to understand what it is we're feeling or what it is we're thinking. I know when I was young, I didn't understand my emotions. I needed somebody to show me. I needed somebody to tell me, not necessarily tell me what I was feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Find somebody who would listen to me so I could share what I was feeling, and then they could guide me. I know that no kid wants to be told what to do or who they are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you necessarily need to be told who you are, but it's so important to look at somebody who you do admire, to see somebody whose life is good. If it's a family that you want to have, then look at somebody who has that family and go and ask questions, because everybody's been where you are.
I got to tell you, I think we did pretty good for not being able to hear each other.
Well, I moved positions here.
Yeah.
A couple other people moved the chairs, and then they moved the fan. Like, everything was okay. I had support over here. I had a lot of help over here.
You sound like you actually got yourself together, and it sounds like you're really helping other people on the inside as well, and now you're going to be helping people on the outside. So I hope that makes you feel like good. Your message is pretty powerful.
Thanks. Well, I believe that it's everybody else that makes a difference in my life. They make a difference in my life today. They're the ones who are helping me. So it's a wonderful thing. It's very humbling.
Michelle, thank you very much for calling me. I'm going to cut this off right now, and then we can have a couple. That was a pretty powerful story. Thank you guys for listening to the 15 Minutes with True Crime podcast. My name is Joe Tomaso. Take care. Be safe. Hope to see you all soon.